News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
Good day. This is World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. The United States pushed Hamas on Tuesday to accept a ceasefire deal with Israel to halt fighting in Gaza for 6 weeks, while also releasing some of the 100 or so hostages held by the U.S.-designated terror group in exchange for Israel freeing hundreds of Palestinians it has jailed. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken told reporters in Washington that it was a very serious proposal presented to Hamas in Cairo last weekend and should be accepted. Blinken added that the fact that Hamas has not already agreed to the terms says what it thinks of the people of Gaza, which is not much. Israel declared war on Hamas after its shock October 7 terror attack on Israel that killed 1,200 people and led to the capture of about 250 hostages. Israel's subsequent counter-offensive in Gaza has killed more than 33,000 people, about two-thirds of them women and children, according to Gaza health officials, while the Israeli military says several thousand Hamas fighters are among those killed. As of mid-February, 112 hostages had been freed, most during a week-long ceasefire in November, while 36 more are believed to have died or been killed in Gaza during the 6 months of fighting.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
In other news overseas, the U.S. military said on Tuesday it has handed Ukraine an array of small arms and ammunition it had seized from Iranian forces as they tried to deliver them to Tehran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. The cache included more than 5,000 AK-47 assault weapons, rocket-propelled grenades, machine guns, sniper rifles, and more than 500,000 rounds of ammunition that the U.S. seized from 4 vessels between May 2021 and February 2023, according to the U.S. Central Command. Even so, Ukraine is facing a shortage of weaponry, partly because a right-wing contingent of Republican lawmakers in the U.S. House of Representatives opposed to more Ukraine aid has so far successfully blocked consideration of $60 billion in new U.S. arms assistance. House Speaker Mike Johnson has said he will put the measure up for a vote later this week. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Kiev's forces will lose its 2-year war to Russia without the additional U.S. armaments. The Houthis have been targeting commercial vessels in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden en route to and returning from Israel since November, attacks they say are in solidarity with Hamas militants in their 6-month war with Israel.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
And news from the Philippine Foreign Service Post, UNESCO Social and Human Sciences sector during an event on the sidelines of the 219th session of the UNESCO Executive Board presented the newly established Program on the Promotion of Scientific Freedom and the Safety of Scientists as a follow-up to UNESCO's 2017 recommendation on science and scientific researchers, which commits member states to create enabling science ecosystems that will allow scientists and science to flourish. Ms. Judith van Voorst-Vader of the Dutch Ministry of Education, Culture and Science presented a summary of the publication entitled The Safety of Scientific Researchers, which delved into the threats of scientists and underlined the urgency for deeper and more comprehensive data collection and analysis on the subject. This was followed by a panel discussion with high-level participation from Chile, Denmark, Ghana, Paraguay, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and the Philippines, and moderated by Her Excellency Monique van Dalen, Permanent Delegate of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to UNESCO, which provided insights and perspectives of the importance of scientific freedom and the safety of scientists for their respective countries. Philippine Secretary of Science and Technology Renato Solidum Jr., who participated virtually in the event, said in his remarks that since science, technology, and innovation are powerful tools to address the world's pressing issues, it is only high time that we push for the call to action on the freedom and safety of scientists. Chargé d'Affaires Eric Gerardo E. Tamayo shared that the call to action is envisioned to amplify national efforts with the backing of the international community, allowing them to adopt best practices and collaborate in fostering a policy environment conducive to scientific research and development. Finally, UNESCO Assistant Director General for Social and Human Sciences Gabriela Ramos emphasized the importance of creating a safe and enabling environment for scientists, and also in putting the spotlight on the S of UNESCO to complete its mandate.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.